Norman unlocked the heavy iron doors of Ravenswood Manor and led his wife Maria and their 2 children inside. The grand hall was silent, except for the echo of their footsteps on the marble floor. Tall windows stood like dark sentinels, and candle sconces on the walls were empty, leaving the rooms in shadows. That very first night, Maria heard soft footsteps above her. "Did you hear that?" she whispered to Norman, who lay awake beside her. He listened. Only silence. A few days later, while dusting a portrait in the dining room, the air turned icy. A pale woman drifted past Maria's shoulder, her eyes full of sorrow. Maria gasped. "Norman!" she cried, but when he arrived, the ghost had vanished. That evening in the nursery, the ghost appeared again. She reached toward Maria's throat and squeezed. Maria's hands flew to her neck as her breath caught. Norman burst into the room just in time. "Get away from her!" he shouted, and the ghost melted into the wall. Maria trembled, tears in her eyes. "This house is haunted. I can't stay here with the children." Norman shook his head. "We can't move, Maria. I have no money left. This was all I could afford." Reluctantly, Maria summoned Father Bernard from the village church. He sprinkled holy water in every room and begged the spirit to depart. In the grand hall, the ghost returned, silent and pale. Bernard raised his crucifix. "In the name of God, leave this house," he cried. The ghost's lips curled in a cruel smile, and in a breath she leapt upon Father Bernard. He fell from the balcony above, and the echo of his scream died as he struck the stone below. Horrified, Norman called his friend Rosa, who knew a spirit caller named Isolde. Isolde could help, but only in a week's time. Against their better judgment, Norman and Maria remained in the empty halls, each night praying for safety. One morning, the house was still. Maria greeted Norman over breakfast and laughed at a private joke. No flicker of a ghost, no chill in the air. Norman dared to believe the haunting was over. All of a sudden, everything was back to normal. They were no longer seeing any ghosts, and Norman and Maria were living happily as a family with their children. Norman wondered how everything had returned to normal without any explanation, but he thanked God that the ghost was gone. One night, Norman wandered the corridors by candlelight. He found a door he had never seen before, a small, ironclad door hidden behind a tapestry. With trembling fingers, he turned the latch. Inside lay Maria's dead body, pale and cold on a stone slab. He staggered back in horror. "Maria!" he screamed. "How is that possible?" Norman thought. He had been living with his wife Maria for days, and now he had found her dead in a mysterious room. If she had been dead for days, then who was the woman living with him, pretending to be Maria? He went back to his room and confronted the woman. "Who are you?" Norman asked. "Show your true self." The candlelight flickered, and Maria turned around. Her face twisted. Her eyes turned black. Her lips curved into a terrible smile. "I am not Maria," she whispered. "I am Ariana." Norman stumbled, his heart pounding. The woman before him wore Maria's dress but moved with a ghostly grace. "Ariana? Who are you?" Norman asked. Ariana smiled and said, "I was your lover in a past life. We were going to get married, but you died in a war. I couldn't bear the pain of losing you, so I killed myself, and my spirit was trapped in this mansion forever." Her smile grew sad and cruel. "I've waited centuries for you." She reached for Norman's hand, and her touch burned like ice. "Now we can be together," she said. "That's why I killed your wife and took her form. But now that you've discovered the truth, it's fine. We'll stay like this, forever." Norman was horrified. He tried to run, but the walls shifted and the stairs vanished. Desperate, he shouted, "Help! Someone help me!" Norman's children came out of their rooms, frightened by the noise. They tried to escape with him, but the mansion trapped them. "Please, someone help us!" Norman cried with his children, all of them imprisoned inside the house. Then a distant voice called back. In a swirl of lamplight, Isolde appeared at his side, rosary beads in her hand. She was the same woman who had promised to come in a week to help Norman, but now she had arrived just in time. She murmured a spell, and Ariana's spirit froze. Isolde drew a circle of salt around her and began chanting in a low voice. Ariana shrieked and clawed at the barrier, her form flickering. She was now powerless, unable to move from her spot. Isolde guided Norman and his children out into the cold night. "You must burn Ravenswood Manor," she said. "Only fire will free this evil spirit." Before dawn, Norman piled logs around the front doors and set the flames. The great windows glowed red as fire roared through the empty rooms. From within came Ariana's anguished scream, echoing among the burning beams. When the fire died, only charred stones remained. Norman led his children away, their small hands in his. He knew they had lost their home, but at least they were free of the past that had haunted its halls. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to my channel for more thrilling tales. I also write novels in different genres like sci-fi, fantasy, and horror. If you'd like to check them out, click the link in the description below. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more exciting stories.